Hey guys, welcome back. So it is 6 p.m. here and it's about 3 degrees outside. It's pretty cold. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 monthly expenses that you're going to have to incur when you get here. And there's also a bonus somewhere in the video, so watch till the end and you'll not miss it. Before we get started, I wonder if you've added me on Instagram. If yes, you're awesome. If not, you're awesome as well. But I wonder why not? Go ahead and add me on Insta, Jinesh1971. Pretty easy and simple. Okay, let's get started. Rent is going to be the first expense in the list. For those of you that are already living away from home, you know that rent is not the best thing to pay, but you're gonna have to pay it anyway. If you want a roof above your head, you're gonna have to pay it. Rent is going to be the largest percentage of your monthly expense, and it's also going to be dependent upon multiple factors. Location nearer to the university, which I 100% recommend, is definitely going to be a little bit more expensive, but it's going to help you out in the long run. Right now, the classes and everything, all in-person classes are cancelled until January 2021, but when it does start, it's definitely going to help you out. My house is only a 5-minute walk to campus. This is my house here, and university is right across. So that is the campus area, and the signboard of Mineral University is there. That's the gym. Behind that is the library and all the class buildings. University Center, that I think is the Arts and Administration building right here. So it's not really far and it's pretty good. It's really convenient. You can also see the university from my window. So that is the campus area and all of the campus stuff. This is Elizabeth Avenue, and the rent on the street goes from anywhere between $450 to $550, and that is including heat and electricity. Another factor that can affect your rent would be length of a lease. It's always a good idea to sign a lease in the beginning because it protects you as a tenant and also it protects the landlord as the owner of the house. What I have noticed is that the longer the lease, there's more scope for negotiation in the rent. If you do get a nice and understanding landlord, you can always bargain for a lower amount depending on what your current budget and situation is. And in my opinion, landlords in the area are really nice and kind. If there is a damage in the house, replacements are done, and depending on the damage, depending on the cost of the damage, it's usually free. Very first month here, you can expect to pay a security deposit, which is given back to you if everything is okay when you leave. Usually the security deposit is 75% of the rent. So for example, if your rent is say $500, you can easily expect to pay about $375, and you do get it back when you leave and everything is okay given that. Prices that you heard all this while were for single rooms, for a single bedroom. And if you want a full apartment that's at least say a 2-bedroom house, then you can expect to pay anywhere between $700 to $900 POU. POU stands for pay on utilities, which means the heat and electricity is not included. A 3-bedroom house would be anywhere between $1,100 to $1,500. At the moment, all in-person classes are cancelled due to the pandemic all the way up to January 2021. So getting a house a little bit away from campus will not be a problem. Number 2 is food. You love it, I love it. Let's get into it. Food has a different meaning in everyone's life. For me personally, food is just a daily need to keep my body going, but you could love food more and you would want to eat outside more. That's fine. So average monthly food cost would be about $200, and if you're really careful, you can even manage it under $150. If you eat out often or from restaurants, say you order food twice a week and say each meal is about $20. So your monthly expense, you can expect it to be anywhere between $300 to $400. But if you're cooking food, if you're buying the raw materials and cooking in your house, it'll be a lot cheaper. There are several ways to reduce food cost if you're on a strict budget. You can take advantage of the food banks. MUN has its own food bank, and there are several in the community as well. Food banks are completely free of cost and they give you the basic necessities once a month. One kit usually is going to last you for about a week, which will include the very basic necessities like onions, rice, and whatever you choose. Sometimes it's a MUN food bank, you can even choose what you want. You can also save a lot of money by visiting the discounted stores. You may want to go to your favorite supermarkets for produce items, but you should consider visiting the dollar store or the Dollarama for purchasing items like toiletries, canned items, kitchenwares, and more. You can save a bundle versus even the cheapest grocery store. But caution is required. You don't want to be buying something that's perishable in a large quantity, otherwise you're going to be running the risk of it reaching its expiration date before you've even had a chance of using it. Number 3 is transport. Presently, there's only one mode of public transport in the city, which is the metro bus, and there's also another go bus, which is only for disabled people. Buses are best for students. However, remember when I was talking about having a house nearby, if you live far away, you're gonna have to take the bus every day, and so your whole schedule is going to revolve around the bus timings. Sometimes you'd be at work 45 minutes early or 10 minutes late, and time is of essence. Time is very much valued in Canada. You are paid hourly, so you're always expected to be on time. Price per trip is $2.50, and you also get a transfer in case you need it, which is usually valid for 2 hours. You can also purchase the monthly pass, which is $78, and you get unlimited rides with that. You'd also have to renew it every 30 days to continue using it. If you happen to live away from campus for any reason, you can always buy the monthly pass or the semester pass. I'll talk about the semester pass in a second, but you can buy the longer ones so that you don't have to incur additional cost every day to get to classes. The semester passes are $275, and it goes from January to April. So from the beginning of the semester to the end of the semester, and we have 3 semesters in a year: fall, winter, and spring. For me personally, I usually refill my car with only 10 rides at a time because I have very minimum use for it at the moment. You can also get your own car here, and a decent running model would be about $3,000 to $11,000. What's important to remember here is that cars means insurance. Insurance is mandatory in Canada, and if God forbid you're ever caught driving without insurance, you can face fines up to $25,000. Insurance would be anywhere between $300 to $450 if you are a student and under 24, and it gets cheaper with the driving experience. Price of petrol gas in Canada is about $1 a liter, which varies from province to province. The issue about cars is if you have your own car here, you're gonna have to get to university early in order to find parking, because if you do arrive there late or even say 10 minutes early and during rush hours or during the school busy hours, it's very difficult to find parking. So you got to get there early. As a bachelor student, car really isn't a necessity for me, and it can really bump up your monthly expense if you get one. An interesting way to save money in transport in the long term, which I have used for over 6 months, is cycling. Yes, you can get a decent, good enough cycle for under say $150. And this is where I also want to highlight the MUN Bike Share. They are a group of awesome volunteers who repair old and used bikes. They make it up, they give it to you in a condition that's fully working. Mostly all the bikes are geared, and they usually rent it out from May to December. There's a small rent charge. I think it is, last I used it was I think $20 or $25 for the whole year. And again, you can't use bikes in the winter here. And they also offer free servicing, so in case something happens, as long as no new part is needed in the bike, the servicing is completely free. Now let's talk about health insurance. Good thing about health insurance is that you're not going to be paying it monthly, but because insurance is mandatory in Canada, MUN is going to automatically charge you if you're a student here, and you're going to be paying $76.5 a semester for your dental insurance and $91 for your health insurance. You do have the option to sign out or opt out of the MUN default program with insurance, but because, like I said, because insurance is mandatory here, you're going to have to sign up with another insurance company in Canada. If you're coming here as a graduate student, you can opt into the GSU program, Graduate Student Union, and you get 100% coverage on prescriptions. Medicines in Canada are expensive, and you never know when you fall sick, so the insurance really helps. There's another program here called the MCP, Medical Care Plan, and every student here should take access of it because it's completely free of cost, and it covers your doctor's visit when you go and see a doctor in the clinic and anywhere in the city.
Number 5 is miscellaneous expenses.
When you're sitting down and planning your budget for the month and just to get a general idea, it's always a good idea to include an amount separate for miscellaneous expenses, because you're going to need it. No matter what you think, you're definitely going to need it. They will cover your basic needs, such as buying phone plans, stationery, or just some flowers for a senorita. Phone plans will usually start from $5 and go up to as much as you want it to go. You can even get a free phone number. There is an app called Text Now, and the only thing is that it works with internet, so you can definitely make outgoing calls and receive incoming calls, send and receive messages, but it's just that it only works when you have an internet connection. So it's good when you're starting out. When you first come here, it's definitely good. It'll help you save a lot of money when you're just starting out. But as you progress living here and you start applying jobs and you actually get a job, it's a good idea to get a reliable SIM. There is a very famous mobile company out here that gives you really cheap deals compared to other operators. However, the only catch is that there is no physical store and there is no customer service. So if you have any questions, any concerns you have to open up their website and check out the frequently asked questions. The service is really good. good. I've been using it myself for about 7 to 8 months now and I've not had a single issue. If you're activating public mobile for the very first time, use this code right here to get a one-time bonus of $10 into your account. Here's the bonus as promised. You're also going to want to set aside $200 to $300 separate for your very first semester, and this is going to be used towards your textbooks. Now, textbooks for me, I have used it in my first and second semester, but after that, second and third year, textbooks were just not needed. School notes were enough. So if we sum up all of the expenses that we have calculated so far, this is what it is going to look like. Assume that your rent is $450. Let us take that food is $200, and let's say that you get your house far away from campus, so you got to buy the monthly pass, and say you transport is $78 in the bus, and let's just say that miscellaneous expenses $50. So when we add that up, this is what it looks like. You get $778. Now this is just a rough estimate, and this is how your monthly cost is going to look like when you get here. Okay, so that's everything. If you've not liked and subscribed, please do so. It really does help the channel grow. I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. It's been fun. Talk to you later.